This is my journey.
The fourth of the 4 core challenges for marriage may be the biggest one of all. It's called intimacy. It's that closeness you felt when you stood right here. That absolute trust. That connection that you knew would carry you the rest of your life. But life and arguments and hurts and challenges and busyness, they all came at you pretty hard, and maybe now you're not feeling as close as you once did. Maybe the kids feel like all you have in common anymore. Maybe your career's moved in opposite directions, and now the person across the breakfast table feels like a stranger, one that you're not too sure about anymore. Intimacy ranges from the emotional connection we feel to the sexual connection marriage is supposed to enjoy. Now, sex isn't intimacy, but it is a key way we express the intimacy we feel in the relationship. And if there's little or no sex in a marriage, it's usually because one or both partners don't want it. And that's a pretty clear sign that intimacy is fading. Again, this little video can't do all the work on this subject, but for now, let me offer a couple of simple thoughts. First, intimacy is a product of trust. If you've broken trust, little wonder your intimacy is in shambles. You see, intimacy is built on those things that are the private possession of your relationship. When you dated, maybe you had like your song, or your restaurant, or a host of other yours. Those things felt like the private possessions of your relationship. But if you started playing your song, for someone else, or started using your restaurant for business clients, well, your private possession isn't so private anymore. How long has it been since the two of you were there anyway? A big part of rebuilding intimacy is in finding and reclaiming those private possessions. With them can also return some of those original feelings. The ones you were feeling when you stood right here. Of course, it's not as easy as reliving the first date. Sometimes intimacy is damaged because we gave what was to be a private possession to somebody else, even to the point of sex, marriage's ultimate private possession, giving that to someone else. It was our failure to guard what belonged to intimacy that brought us to this spot. A lot of times when people talk to me about this kind of failure, they have all sorts of reasons why their failure was justified. They usually start out like, well, I know what I did was wrong, but... And that's usually where I realize they haven't truly understood the damage that they have done by failing to guard marriage's most fundamental intimacy. Now, I hope that's not where you're coming from in our conversation. Maybe the intimacy of your marriage just needs the cobwebs knocked off. But even if you're reeling, from the impact of a shattered intimacy, you need to know that trust can be rebuilt slowly. You're going to need to make a huge effort to prioritize each other, and forgiveness will take time. You'll find that journey on this side as well. I hope you'll choose to rebuild, because quitting seldom makes things better. But as you rebuild intimacy, guard it this time. Give protecting your intimacy the highest attention. Whether you're building or rebuilding intimacy, guarding it is your most critical assignment. My main statement to you concerning intimacy is that you must understand the true nature of love. I know we can love everything from our dog to pizza to the sunny day that greets us. But love that makes a relationship last comes in only one variety, and that's self-sacrifice. Love that makes marriage work is a love that's not self-centered or one that comes into marriage looking for someone to make me happy. The love that builds intimacy and makes marriage work is one that puts the needs of my partner ahead of my own. When I am focused on my partner's needs and she's trying equally hard to meet mine, this amazing thing emerges that brings absolute fulfillment to the relationship. But the minute I get selfish, that beauty is compromised and marriage becomes a battle. You've probably heard it said that marriage is hard work. I've said that a few times myself. But the hard work of marriage isn't in dealing with my wife. The hard work of marriage is me having to deal with me. It's my battle against selfishness that's hard work. You see, when I put my partner first, I give my marriage every chance to succeed. You may say, well, I will if he will, or I will if she will. Come on now, but that's lazy, you know? I can almost guarantee that if you love someone selflessly, they won't be able to treat you selfishly for very long. You just need to take the first step. Well, we're almost to the end of our journey, but such a short series of conversations can't really cover such a major subject as marriage. This series has a part 7, and that's where I want to tell you how to get more help with this. So stop by part 7 before you dive into the insider section, and I'll help you find some great sources for helping you get your marriage back on track.